Been a short week for both the Broncos and the Giants, but it may have felt a little bit longer for Denver with the way things have been going of late. Hey, how are you, folks? Jason Horowitz, NFL.com's Pat Kirwan.
Hey, Jason.
Glad to be with you here on the NFL Preview Show presented by Tyson Anytizers. Happy Thanksgiving. The Giants and the the Giants and the Broncos finishing it off on Thursday night. And you know, Pat, for Denver, so many things here because everything has started to fall apart. Not only the play on the field, the team is fighting with itself off the field, sidelines during games. What will it take for this team to get back to playing solid football?
Well, there's pressure now because they're in a slide. I would discount the problems they're going to have with no Sean Moreno and Marshall in a little fight. Now, they had a player-only meeting. Not a big fan of those. Brian Dawkins ran it, which is interesting to me because he's a first-year player there. So all the veterans that have been around for a while, we've got a guy running a meeting that's there for the first time. I know there's great respect for him, but don't think those meetings really help that much. These players are fine. Moreno's a competitive guy. Marshall's a competitive guy. That part of it's going to go away as a problem. Don't worry about it.
All right, Pat, the offense has been a problem, though. The defense has been a problem. So there's been a lot of issues here. Take one of those sides first. Which one can they fix quicker?
Well, I think if the quarterback's healthy, you can fix the offensive problems. You still have Eddie Roy, you still have Marshall, you still have the the quarterback and Moreno at the running back. You don't have a right tackle, so every bit of pressure they bring from the defensive left is a problem for this quarterback, and he's not very mobile right now. But if he can move around this week, and he actually got on the field and looked better than I thought he'd look last week, and it's a short week, as you said, that can get fixed. On defense, I think they're getting gashed. Yeah. They're getting gashed inside with the running game, and you really can't fix that problem.
And that could be a huge problem this week, too, because although Eli Manning had the great game last week against the Falcons through the air, if they know they can run the football, if the Giants know they can pound it, I know Ahmad Bradshaw's questionable for Thursday, but if you know you can pound it with Brandon Jacobs, you're going to try and do that.
Well, and here's the problem that they face is because the Denver Broncos are watching that game tape, and what did the Giants do? Manning throws for over 300 yards, well over 300 yards.
387.
So you're going to be in a too-high safety pass defense on every situation that calls for that, and I'm expecting a lot of the big guy, Brandon Jacobs, running the ball off that. Now, what I don't like in their running game is they're trying to run the stuff that Derek Ward ran with them, the outside runs, the stuff where it's more of a halfback offense. Downhill behind Chris Snee. That's where the home is when they study the Denver Broncos. I know they saw a spot in there on the left side in the A and B gaps, and that's where they should take the big guy.
Having said that, though, all the great stuff that you just said about the Giants offense and the 34-point, the defense still is a huge issue here. I mean, they gave up that 2-touchdown lead to Atlanta in the fourth quarter.
Well, you know, it is Matt Ryan. We're going to talk about him today, too, and he's a pretty good player, but when I think about what they can do, and they got Chris Canty back now. He was not a real big factor last week, but he'll be better this week. Boley's back. Pierce is the guy that's missing out there. Ross will now start to move back into the lineup. The defense is getting stronger. Here's what they need to do. They've called a lot of fire zone blitzes. I've watched a bunch of the tape, and they're not getting there. Two reasons. I think the offenses have figured out where they're coming from, so they got to mix that up. And I asked Spagnuolo, I said, have you talked to any of your old Giant friends? He said, I had a conversation with him yesterday. So they're probably trading ideas, thinking about how to do that, but they don't get off blocks. So we need more pressure. The calls are there, but they're ineffective.
All right, 2 6-4 teams. Winner obviously is 7-4 and sitting in much better shape than the loser here. Do you see both these teams as playoff teams?
I see the Giants as a playoff team. And I'm not so sure about Denver because they're, as you pointed out to start this segment, they're struggling with their own demise right now. Well, you don't see that from the Giants. The Giants have been there before and crawled out of this before. I'll reserve comment about the Broncos making the playoffs.
All right, we'll see how it all. But you're going to take the Giants to win.
I am taking the Giants to win.
Even though you don't like teams going on the road in short weeks.
Oh, and I don't really. And as we get done with this whole year, we're going to see how that worked against a lot of teams. But I will take the Giants in this situation because of what's reeling in Denver.
All right, we'll see how it all plays out. It is Thursday Night Football. It's Thanksgiving. Be sure to check that out. And for more, stay right here with CBSSports.com. That'll do it for the NFL Preview Show presented by Tyson Anytizers, the meaty Good Man Snack. For Pat Kirwan, I'm Jason Horowitz. Happy Thanksgiving. Take care, folks.